here I am, right? I'm a debt slave for basically going to school. I'm a chiropractor. I have a passion for treating people. I love health. I love manual therapy because I wrestled in high school. I just like getting my hands on people. I'm an empath, so I enjoy that connection with humans, to heal them with my hands and to heal them with like a very personal, physical, mental, and spiritual connection. I live in a country where you can't just do it, right? Like, I naturally, intuitively know how to do it, but I'm not allowed to because of bureaucracy and trades and whatnot. So I need to go to school. So to be able to do what I love to do legally, I had to essentially go into debt a good $150,000 of fiat, right? Because fiat is parasitic. It goes, "Oh, you love to do something? You love to treat somebody? How can I put you in debt and extract value from you?" So I'm a debt slave for simply having to do something I love to do in a system that wants to extract value out of me. So that's burnout number one, right? Another is, and I love my house. It's so beautiful, right? I need a home because ever since I was a kid, I wanted a wife and children. I want a family. You need a home to raise a family in. And once again, right, it's just more debt slavery. It's like, in order to have a roof over my head, I need a roof over my head. It's a very humble house. I'm not living in a mansion. That's another 260,000. That's actually $400,000 of debt. But because my wife and I are very like-minded people and were employed for 20 years straight, saving and doing nothing else, we were able to get that down to just $260,000 of debt because we had a large down payment. So basically, Robin, where I'm burned out is the fact that I'm sitting here a $500,000 in debt, having never spent any money on anything other than just getting educated so I can help people and having a home to raise my family. Oh, and I've worked for 22 years on top of that. And the fact that somebody can work for 22 years, never take any lavish vacations, and just be purely Spartan in their living, do something they love and are raising a family, all beautiful things. And then there's this system that puts you $500,000 in debt for doing those things. It really burns you out on that system because you really feel the parasite living on you. And if it was just a little tick that I could pop its head off, I would do that. But this system is so powerful that it's honestly, I get why people break underneath it because it's just this thing on your back that isn't a physical thing. It's the whole system. It's brutal, man. Another reason I'm burned out on it is because in order to defeat this debt, right, you can't do it through work, in my experience. You can't possibly outrun it through just good, honest work. You can't earn the money it takes to defeat the debt, right? So then you have to essentially become a degenerate. The system turns you into a degenerate, um, which I'm happy to talk about in terms of like my Bitcoin experience, right? I've made all this fiat currency investing in Bitcoin when really Bitcoin's much more beautiful than that. But anytime we deal with Bitcoin and fiat, it turns into degeneracy, but it's necessary because I almost have to be a degenerate if I ever have any hope of defeating this fiat currency system that I'm in. So I'm pretty burned out, man. I'm burned out of the kind of person I have to be in the fiat currency system. I'm frustrated. I'm tired, and yeah, it's definitely made me a little jaded about the whole thing.
It's such a bad system because you described it very well. Like you are doing nothing but the best. You are like getting the house, you getting the education, you're doing all the things that you have been told is important to do, and then you're sitting there after 20 years of work, and you're like, oh man, like that. It all has kind of been for nothing. Like I still have a debt. I still have no real freedom. I have this house that I have to keep working at, like a new bath, a new this, fixing a roof, fixing some plumbing, like whatever it is. And in the end of the day, yeah, you have the value of the house, obviously, but it's not going up nearly enough to cover for everything. And what do you do with it? And then you have like university is crazy, 150K for university to getting a degree just to do what you love. That So like the house, I still understand because you get the house value, obviously, like that's it's just like a credit trade. That's probably even there if we live on a Bitcoin standard, because there will always be some kind of form of credit. But who needs university with 150K degree right now? That's crazy for me. Like I started two universities. Luckily, I live in Austria, so like it literally does not cost anything. In Austria, it's actually the other way around. You almost get paid to study in Austria, because you get all those benefits. Like you get cheaper MacBooks, you get cheaper access to like swimming centers and like health centers and all of that. So if you study, you get all this kind of cheaper stuff, and you don't have to pay for anything when you are studying. So in Austria, it's a good way of just like write yourself in as a student, get the student pass, and you get cheaper things in your life. But like like it's a completely broken system for me, the whole education university system in Austria. But at least there's no debt for the individual. It's horrible for the state because they have to pay for all that with your tax money and inflation. And in the US, I hate it because of the individual side and not of the state side, which, yeah, it's both not good, but in different ways, not good.
Yeah, you nailed it, Robin, and I love that you mentioned indeed, the mortgage is just you made a good point, right? Like, I'm happy to pay my mortgage. That, as you said, the real estate, you have the value, I get it. I can deal with that. Truly, when it comes to the education, and specifically, you often hear, "Oh, I got this, like, useless degree, and I'm $150,000 in debt," or however much in debt. Like, I'm not condemning that at all. I would say in my situation, right, I can learn how to do chiropractic on my own. I did not need to go to university to learn how to be a chiropractor. I have all the tools necessary to study anatomy, physiology, all the history of chiropractic written by previous chiropractors. I don't need to invest 1 cent in knowing how to do what I do. I just need to put the time, right? The proof of work, as Bitcoin is, into what I'm going to do, and then go let the free market decide if I'm worthy to treat you or not. But the system that is in place, the fiat system, says if you do that, I will put you in prison, which is what they did to the original chiropractor, D.E. Palmer. He was just treating people. He got way too popular because everyone loved his treatment. The American Medical Association was like taking a look at him and going, "Oh, no, 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 no. Like, we need to get this licensed, and you're treating all these people, and we're not getting our take out of it." And of course, probably the federal government too. And it just turned into what it is now, where I didn't go to university for, oh, I'm just going to go and experience it and do these classes and see where it goes. It's like, no, I needed to go. I finished college fast. I went late, but I finished quick because I had an objective. So, the fact that somebody like me who was laser focused, specifically going through university, uses his degree, it's immediate work, right? I'm using my degree, is still in that much amount of debt, had to pay that much amount of money. It's very obviously parasitic because with me, it's not the case of, oh, I went to school and earned a useless degree. It's no, no, no. I'm putting absolute use to what I do. It's just the system is preying on my time, my skill, my effort, my proof of work, right? I didn't need to spend those 6 years doing, getting licensing and degrees. Not to say that it wasn't a meaningful experience. If the system was like yours in Austria, where that 6 years there was more support for the student, thank you. We're investing in you. We're happy that you're becoming a doctor. We're happy you're going through the correct avenue. So you're using the university, you're right. And then being a little bit more give and take. Instead, it's just like, no, hey, let's just take everything from you during this time. Oh, charge you interest too, by the way, while you're going to school. So we tack on an extra 30K at the end of it all. It's an exploitive system, Robin. It's an exploitive system.
And you, I think, told me before that you have written, or not written, read the Bitcoin standard, and you have some like new interesting learnings, which is very interesting because you live so closely to the fiat system and you actually see it, and you're a Bitcoiner. What have you kind of seen?
Yes, I love that you mentioned that. Okay, so there we go. The Bitcoin standard, right? I never read it. And basically, in 2025, I had a religious experience because a true religious revelation on Bitcoin because my first 2 years in Bitcoin, when I just owned Bitcoin, self-custodied it and whatnot, right? Beautiful experience. It just happened to be in one of those times where it was also going up in fiat. I just had all this hope that I could wipe out my fiat currency debt, right? What's crazy about the fiat currency debt is it is so great that even with the returns on Bitcoin, and I'll get into with the Bitcoin standard just how fiat influences your behavior as a human being. Essentially, I got punished very bad, and I'm accounting for that 100% by leveraging the Bitcoin, right? Doesn't matter how I did it. I just went the leverage route, heavy leverage route, because with good intention, and good intentions are the road to hell. With the intention of, I just want to run this number up so high that I could just get rid of this fiat debt, and I'm happy to cycle back into Bitcoin and just have this monkey off my back. Of course, we all know 2025, in terms of fiat terms, didn't quite go that way, right? So instead, I found myself with my Bitcoin stack gone, and on top of that, right, my fiat currency at that all-time low. And I was really like, wow, just like I told you last time at the end of the podcast, whenever you are experiencing suffering, look for the lesson. Always look for the lesson. I thought, what's the lesson in this? And it's like, well, the lesson is, what's this really about? And fortunately, I had heard of the Bitcoin standard. I'm like, I need to read this book. I think it'll just kind of set me straight and give me a better perspective on what this is all about. And starting from there, Robin, you know, what I'd like to move on to is there's me as an individual, but ultimately, I think what we're doing here, and this is influenced by reading the Bitcoin standard, is we live in a world currently that is essentially collapsing and coming to an end as we know it. So the reality is actually that whether I'm in debt or not in debt, or I'm a fiat millionaire or billionaire or a bum on the street, to be honest with you, it's kind of like the times of Jesus. Everything as we know it is very quickly and maybe also very slow at the same time coming to an end. And so there are systems in play that will still be in play when that happens, and there will be systems that are gone. And the system that will still be in play is Bitcoin. And the reason I say this and have this revelation is because Bitcoin is it's perfect money. And I'm going to say a lot of things, Robin, that I know you know, but my goal moving forward is essentially to support the network through education. People need to be educated on the fundamentals of Bitcoin and what it is and why this system is forever moving forward, the system, and will be the system once this system collapses, the fiat currency system. And it all comes down to right in the beginning of the book. And I've taken notes, but I'll start with my first notes. It's the most beautiful thing. And I just want to speak to anybody watching this podcast. Please, it's free. Google Bitcoin standard PDF and read it. It doesn't cost you 1 cent, it just costs you your time. And even if you only read the first 30 pages, you're going to be pretty squared away because right away, the author talks about what perfect money is and why the money that we have today has led to continual cycles of collapse and destruction, including gold. And it all comes down to a concept right off the bat called salability. I'd never heard this word before. It's a beautiful word. So, salability is basically money, in order for it to achieve perfection, should be perfect in scales, space, and time. So, the reason why Bitcoin is perfect money is because it has the scales. It can be broken into higher and lower units, right? It's divisible. Fiat currency does that well. Gold does that terribly. So fiat matches Bitcoin on that slightly. Bitcoin's still better. Gold is terrible. Space, can you transport it? What's the value per unit? Can it move from one point to another quickly, right? Fiat, once again, does a decent job, especially digital fiat, because it can go from one end to another at the speed of light. Bitcoin matches it. Once again, you can send Bitcoin anywhere around the world faster than fiat. I could send you money, Robin, in 20 minutes. It'd take me weeks to send you even digital fiat. And then time, right? The store of value, where fiat just gets wrecked on this, just disgustingly wrecked on the time. Whereas gold, and the reason why gold has still been relevant, it holds its value over time due to its physical properties being non-corrosive. But Bitcoin being electricity, right? Being the blockchain, which is essentially just like cemented in the internet, again, is superior. So, really, if everyone could just understand that, what is money, right? What makes money perfect? And just understood the word salability. Is it divisible? How divisible is it? How can it move through space? And how can it hold its value? As soon as you kind of clicks that Bitcoin at its most fundamental level hits all those three things at perfection, and that word is unachievable at perfection, you realize, wow, we have perfect money. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's you can get in so many details. You know, like you can get in so much like of the details of like what Bitcoin is, the Bitcoin news, and what's currently happening. But I think it's super important that we zoom out and say Bitcoin is perfect. It's running exactly the course it is supposed to be running. It's in price discovery mode. It's just doing what it's supposed to be doing. And we are very focused on the near term. We're very focused on what will Bitcoin do in the second quarter of 2026. Will it go up or down? Will it be crashing or booming in September of 2026 this year? Like, should I put my call options in or my put options? What should I do with the price? We are so focused on those little things where if you really focus on what's important is all the things that you're saying, all the things that you have learned throughout this over 700 episodes of podcasting, where Bitcoin is amazing, fiat is horrible. Have more Bitcoin, have less fiat, don't play fiat games, don't leverage, don't do all those things, and just like be in Bitcoin, DCA every day, week, month, whatever is your cadence, and just like get into a nice position. The first thing that every Bitcoiner does, and the most important activity that every Bitcoiner keeps on doing, is buying Bitcoin. And I personally use Relay to buy and sometimes also spend or sell my Bitcoin. And there are two main reasons why I do so. The first one is it's Bitcoin only. They do not do any shit coins. They do not do any cryptos, any stocks, or anything else. This is a tool, an app that is fully focused only and solely on Bitcoin. The second one is self-custody. They give you the keys to your Bitcoin the moment you buy them. You never give them the control over your Bitcoin, and you don't have to trust them because you can verify that you and only you have the keys to your Bitcoin. There's no third-party risk. There's no freezing of your assets. There's no rug pulling. There's nothing of that. Download Relay, the app, on your phone, or go to relay.app on your browser and use code Robin to save fees and get cheaper Bitcoin. I want to tell you about something very special to me. It's called micro seed. If you hold your Bitcoin in self-custody, and you should, you know how critical it is to secure your seed phrase. You should not have them on paper. You should not have them on anything else than titanium. With micro seed, you can engrave your 12 or 24 word seed phrase, the entire seed phrase, onto a 1-inch small washer. Yes, just one washer. All 24 words on that one washer. You can hide that thing everywhere. And even better, you don't need to buy a new kit every time you have to get a new wallet. You can make unlimited backups because Microseed is not selling the washer. Microseed is selling the device that stamps the washer. You get the full kit with the device, with the washers, with the hammer, with everything you need to get started today, and you can make with that unlimited amount of backups. Go now to microseed.io.